Well, good morning. How are you doing? I hope that you're doing well. Listen, it's a wonderful day in Western New York. It's a little cold, it's a little all that, but I'm excited to be alive. And guess what? I am excited. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get ready. Sorry. I'm just excited. Sometimes we can complain about certain stuff. There's nothing to complain about. You know why? Because today is a wonderful day. Today is a blessed day. Today is a day, as they say, and it's true, that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. And I'm rejoicing that you and your family are doing well, hopefully. And I hope that your day goes well, and I hope that your week goes well. So welcome to Family Morning Transformation with yours truly, DNP Speaks. My name is David M. Pinkston, but I go by the name of DNP Speaks. I'm an empowerment speaker. I am a board certified Christian counselor and a family restoration specialist, family coach, which means I come to grow, build, or rebuild your family dynamic. I do these lives Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. and on Saturday at 8:30 a.m. And I want you please to share this. This morning is going to be, how can I say this? I just want to encourage you this morning. It's no particular topic per se, but I want to say this to you all. You got to know your child in and out. You got to know your child in and out. You got to know what makes them happy, excited, right? Confident, right? Excited. But you also got to know what ticks them off, what gets them angry, what gets them frustrated, what gets them silent, because a lot of kids, when they get upset, they get silent. You got to be aware. You do have to be nosy sometimes when it comes to your children. You have to be nosy. I know that you're saying, what kind of advice is that? You have to know what's going on with your kid, not just in school, and that's a big part, but you got to know who they are. You got to know who they are. I'll say it again. You got to know who they are for their own development. You got to know where they're good at and what they're good at, but you also got to know what they're not so good at and what they struggle in. Because if they're doing certain things and it's not their greatest asset, but they want to do it, you don't shoot their dreams down. You say, okay, well, in this area, you seem like you struggle in here in this way, but let me help you. Let me help you in this way, excuse me. You got to know your children well, is what I'm saying. Because let's be honest, taking care of a child is more than the food and clothing. You got to really know their mindset. What's in their heart? What questions do they have? What questions are they asking you when they say something? And questions that they don't ask you, but they want to know. Their inquisitive mind. You got to know what hurts them. You got to know what makes them feel loved and feel appreciated. You got to know the ins and outs, because when you know the ins and outs, then your communication can be better. your relationship with each other can be better. Let's be honest. Can I be honest for a few moments? We think we know our children, but we really don't. Let me say that again. Let me repeat that again. Some of us, as parents and guardians, think and believe that we really know our child. Our child would never do that. Oh, my daughter, she would never do that. My son, he would never do that. Are you sure? My parents said the same thing about me. Oh, he would never do this. He would never do that. But goodness gracious, I did it and shocked them. Oh, I never thought you would do that, son. Well, welcome. And I'm saying welcome to the teenagers. You just don't know. And I'm not saying that your kid is gonna go out drugs and smoking and stuff. I'm talking about things that you don't think they would do. You gotta know how they process things, how they consume information. Yeah, this is not your regular live. This is not your regular kind of morning show for your family. I'm trying to get you to understand you have to know your family in and out. You got to know your kids in and out. Because if you don't, and you don't see red flags, you don't recognize red flags, then it's going to be some trouble for you. Because a lot of kids, their development, not like mentally, but their judgment cannot be there fully yet. Because remember, a young person's brain doesn't fully develop until they get 25 years old, right? So a lot of times when they make decisions or they're acting out, or it could be a chemical imbalance sometimes, where a lot of times it's just indecisiveness. They don't know what they're doing, but they see their friends doing it. They see something on TikTok. They see something that interests them, or they're inquisitive. But you got, sometimes it's good to be inquisitive, and then sometimes it could be some negative effects of being inquisitive because they don't know. So you got to know your child in the best way that you can. And the way that you find those things out is through conversation. It's not just looking, it's looking through stuff when you need to, when you feel led to look through their phone or look through their book bag or their chair or whatever, their desk. I'm talking about conversations. I'm talking about having those conversations that lead to other questions and maybe some answers, right? Because you got to know your child in and out. Because when you really know who your child is, that's when you're best at helping them. Because if they have questions and you don't have answers, they're going to go to someone else that has an answer. And that answer that they might be getting may not be the answer that they need. And I know that's hard to hear, but that might be a reason why some of you are having trouble from your child, because you don't know your child. You don't think your child will do anything wrong, but let me tell you, I don't care how much you instilled in them, sometimes their indecisiveness, I should say, will lead them to make some wrong decisions or to be inquisitive about doing something that's contrary to what you have been teaching them. And that brings a problem in the home. That brings a rift in your communication and your relationship, because let's be honest, you weren't aware, because you were working, you were doing so much, and you didn't make time. And I'm not trying to make any family member, I'm not trying to make any parent or guardian feel bad, but we got to start being honest. We really got to start being honest, everybody. Sometimes we know we haven't really taken the time to really get to know our child, to really spend time and sit down with them, to really listen to what they have to say, to ask them questions, even if they feel like they don't have any questions at that particular time. We got to know, and we got to sit down and say, I know you might have some questions. You might not feel comfortable, but what do you feel about relationships? What do you feel about sex? What do you feel about drugs? What do you feel about this? That's why I love my wife, because she does that with our son. He don't always want to talk about certain things, but she has those conversations. She had to teach me that. When I came into both of their lives, I had to learn you can't keep certain conversations from them because that's their development. And we know a lot of these kids are fully developed. And I'm talking about 12, 11. They know certain things that you like. How did you get to know this? It's true because we're dealing with a different age. We're dealing with a different generation. So because we're dealing with a different, excuse me, generation, we got to be really on them. And they might hate it, but it's for their livelihood. It's for their safety, right? It's for their progress. Because you can't have progress until you have process. You got to help them. We got to help them along. But if we don't spend the time to really get to know our child, you might say again, and I'm almost done. You might say to your child or to a friend, I know my child. I ask you again, do you know them? Because some of our kids are sneaky. Some of our kids are conniving. I know this is a tough one this morning. And you think that you know them, but you don't. Not like you should. And you have to spend the time to know them, to get to know them, to get to know their brain set, their mindset. I call it the brain set. It's a mindset, but you got to know what's in their brain. And you got to figure out, how can I help my child? How can I help them in their development? Because it is vital and it's very important that you take, excuse me, that you take time with them. Because if we don't, we're only setting our children up for failure. And I know that's not what you want as a parent or guardian. You want to set them up for success. Scholarships are wonderful. Money and clothes and sneakers are wonderful. Food, that's the necessity. But sometimes we got to go above the norm, the general things, and get to know the child and talk to the child and pour into the child and encourage the child and pray over the child and push the child and give them what they need. So when they get older, they won't depart from what you have given them. Does that make sense? That's why I said I can't play with this when I do these lives. These are not just lives that I'm just doing. I'm doing it so I can help you, parent or guardian, with your child. That's why my program is so important. Yes, I believe in my program. I'm going to put it out there. I believe in what I do because I don't play with this. This is your family. This is your livelihood. This is a reality. This is not something I play with. So when I come on and I talk about these certain topics, it's not to make anybody feel bad because I'm not in the business of that. I'm in the business of helping your family and changing your lives for the rest of your lives. Does that make sense? Let me say it again. Changing all of your lives for the rest of your life. So I can't come in here cookie cutter and trying to be all nice. And I'm nice, but I'm effective. And I want your family to be effective. I want them to be positively affected by my program, which is called the Family Reconnection Program. I want to help your family get to a place that you have never been before. But that's going to take some work. And I'm going to say this. Some of you won't do it. Some of you won't move. Some of you won't go to my bio right now and you won't click because you're complacent. You're afraid to shake the very foundation, and you know your foundation, you know your relationship with your child is not that great. But you're scared to bring somebody in because you're embarrassed. Let me say this, parent and guardian, please hear my heart. Hear my heart. Don't be embarrassed. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. See, when we know we need help and we don't get it, we suffer because of it. I'll say it again, everybody. I'm just showing love this morning because I know it's hard for you, parent. I know it's hard for you, guardian. I know it's hard to raise a child when they are having some difficulty. I know it's tough, but you gotta shake the foundation. If the foundation already got a crack in it, why? And then you're not putting any putty and you're not putting any concrete and you're not putting some tape or something, and you keep going the way it's going, sooner or later that foundation crack is going to get wider and longer and wider and longer and wider and longer. Then that foundation is going to crumble. And I know that's not what you want for your family, because I don't want that for your family. If I want my family to thrive, don't you think I want your family to thrive? If I'm praying over my family, don't you think I'm going to pray for your family? I don't play no games, because this is your life. And I want to see your family grow. So if you're interested in my program, which is called the Family Reconnection Program, I want you to just take the time. Don't be afraid. I'm being serious. Don't be afraid. We need you to understand this is what your family needs. And the only reason why I'm doing this, I had to, sometimes you got to just go for it and don't think about it. You see the bottom of the screen, rebuilding your family dynamic. And sometimes it's so hard for us to build because we are afraid to go get our tools and start to rebuild and start over. But I promise you, and I'm done, if you just take the tools that I can give your family and fix that crack and start to build your house, your family over again, I promise you, things, situations, arguments will go down, right? Confrontations will decrease, because I know what I'm doing, because this is my assignment. Y'all hear what I'm saying? This is my assignment from God to help your family be the best version, the best that y'all ever been. I guarantee it, because I've prayed on what I need to do for families. I have books over here, I have information, because I want to see your family change. If I got too passionate, forgive me, but this is who I am. And you are who you are. Your family is who you guys are. And I want to help you. So I want you to click on the link. I want you to go to my bio, click on the link, and sign up for your free 30-minute call. Do it now. Don't wait. Because if you wait, you might not do it later. So do it now. Do it now. Sign up. Let's have a good time, because it's serious in my program. We have fun. I give out prizes, and that's what I'm going to start doing on here, because I want your family to have joy, not just sitting there and just writing. No. We're breaking. We getting breakthrough. I'm just being honest. In my families, we getting breakthrough. Why are we getting breakthrough? Because I care. Because I spend time. I talk to their children. I talk to the parents. I give additional value during the morning. How's everything doing? How's things going? I'm caring for your family. I hope everything is well, because this is not a joke for me. This is my life, and I've been called and chosen to do this. And because I've been called and chose to do this, I'm going to give you everything that I have, because I will not leave this world one day without my work being done. I'm being serious. And I want to see your family do well. I love you guys. I love you. Thank you, Christine. I thank you, Miss Fashina. Different ones that are on here. I appreciate your time. Listen, catch me tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, we're going to do it. I want to enjoy this day. And not only do I'm going to enjoy this day, I want you to enjoy your day. I'll see you tomorrow.